Welcome back to Bit Different.
Hello.
This is Cetine.
This is Rob.
And how's everybody doing out there? Because I am doing real shitty.
Seriously, you've had a rough week.
Yeah. My car parked on the side of the road the other night got hit by another car. And so I've been dealing with the aftermath of that.
Well, and the fucked up thing was, like, you found out, like, you actually got a parking ticket after the fact, right?
Well, this is what happened. And yes. So I was streaming a video game, and it was Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Nice.
And I got a call, and I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this call all day because I thought it was this job I wanted to talk to the people there. And it was an unknown number, and they're like, hey, is this Cetine? I'm like, yes. This is the sheriff's department. I was like, oh, fuck, what did I do this time? Seriously.
You in trouble.
So they said, so your car has actually been hit, and it's on the sidewalk, and I don't want to tow it. So if you could come down and move it, we could write an accident report and the whole bit. And I was thinking, my car was hit? When? Just now? I didn't hear anything. So I go down there. It's raining cats and dogs because this was on Friday.
Yeah,
and it was crazy, like downpour. And I get to the car, and it's literally parked on the sidewalk, half in the bushes. Like,
Jesus.
Whoever hit my car, it was around 3 a.m. because that's when my parking ticket was that I got for parking on the sidewalk.
I love that they actually ticketed instead of towing. Like, your car was across the sidewalk. And just like, oh no, we'll just give them a little sort of fuck you ticket, which is only $66.
$66. But here's the thing. This is the craziest part. So that ticket was issued at 3:30 a.m. on the day, the day of the accident. I wasn't notified until 5:30 p.m. the next day.
Oh my God.
And I was home. I didn't go anywhere that day. So my car was literally in the flower bed the whole day, and nobody told me. And everybody the next day was like, oh, are you okay? I saw your car. Da, 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 da. I was like, why didn't anybody say anything to me? Like, hello.
Oh my God.
So, but the crazy part is, why didn't the parking enforcement notify the police that my car got hit and is on the side of the road?
Seriously, that is so lazy. And actually, I feel very much like parking enforcement to just sort of like identify the problem, bill you for it, but not do anything to actually contribute to society in any meaningful way.
Walk away. They are literally the lowest form of low. I cannot. Every time I see parking enforcement, I just want to say, I hate you so much, and you ruin my life on a daily basis.
And I feel like they can't really be happy with their jobs either. So
no,
I want to pity them a little bit, but also they still suck.
I keep it to myself, but I really want to stick my middle finger up their butt and punch them. So,
well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful.
Yeah. So because it's been a long weekend, I get to finally talk to insurance on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So
yay!
Yeah,
that'll be fun. No good.
No good.
So what else is happening? Anything else in your world?
I went to your birthday.
Oh yeah. So we had a week after the actual birthday gathering at me and Todd's place. Had a few people over for some games and drinks and merriment.
It was so much fun.
It was crazy.
It
was wonderful because you were there. There were a couple of games that kind of showed up and stole the spotlight a little bit. It was pretty good. Like, it was great. Because every party, we inevitably end up playing one or more of the Jackbox Party Pack games.
Always Jackbox.
Because they're fucking great.
And Jackbox 2 has the murder one.
Oh, 3. 3 has that
3.
one. Yes, Trivia Murder Party.
That is the best one of all of them.
It's so good. It's so funny.
It's so campy.
Yeah. It's wonderful. And so that happened, and then we started playing a game that I kickstarted called Odious Lists in the living room, and while we did that, everyone in the the TV room decided to flip it over to Overcooked. Which I know I talked about on episode 1 or 2. It was a while ago, but
first episodes.
But yeah, it was great to see. The whole room got real rowdy.
I've never played it before. This is my first time playing it. And I remember when Rob was trying to describe what you do in it to me. I'm like, why are you spending so much time telling me you have to chop the vegetables, chop the meat, cook the meat? I was like, who fucking cares? You're in a kitchen. And now it all makes sense.
It's
because
the little steps that make everything.
You're running around this kitchen with your head cut off trying to get all these meals prepared. And it's typically pizza, soup, or hamburgers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe when you get further in the game, you have
there are
to prepare
burritos at one point.
Filet mignon or something.
But like, yeah, and did you guys do any cooperative stuff, or was it only competitive? Because it looked like most of the time you guys were teams of 2 going against each other.
Yeah, we did that the whole time.
Okay, and yeah,
really
it was rowdy. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I think there's a video that got posted on my Twitter of it. It's great.
I screamed my head off.
And then after...
Actually, one point, I had no idea what I was doing. At the beginning, people were just yelling in my ear, and I had no idea what icon represented what. So I just started laughing so hard, I was crying. All my makeup came off. So that was fun.
Yeah, and it, it was... 2 coworkers of mine were able to sort of like get everybody up to speed and coach them. They were sort of shoutcasting the whole thing as they're the expediters of the kitchen, telling everyone what to do. And then after that, the new like apparently reigning champion of party games is Nidhogg. Which,
oh my gosh,
holy shit, Cetine took to like a fucking fish to water. You were killing it.
Well, I'm a natural-born killer.
So for the uninitiated, Nidhogg is a retro graphic style fencing game where your goal is to get all the way to if you are on the left side of the screen, your goal is to get to the right, and there's a couple of screens worth that you have to sort of travel, and as you kill your opponent and run that way, your opponent will respawn in front of you and you have to keep fighting them. And so your goal is to keep pushing in the offense until they get a kill in, and then they're on the offense running the other direction. And your goal is to get to the far edge or the goal
of either goal.
For either side of you, to then be eaten by this giant worm called the Nidhogg.
Yeah. Oh, that's why it's called Nidhogg.
That is it. Your goal is to be eaten by the Nidhogg.
I kept wondering, why is this giant sandworm killing us at the end? We won. They should be eating the other character.
No, the goal is to be eaten by the Nidhogg.
That's, sacrificial lamb.
And Cetine was just rocking it. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. And my brother was there, and we had this moment where we were going head to head for we were going back and forth for 10 minutes on this one round. And I was just sitting there, and everybody's like, come on, Travis, because I was literally within my 6th streak, or my 6th, win.
Yeah.
And so they were all cheering him on, and I said, I got this. He never used to beat me when we were kids, so he's not going to beat me now.
Yeah.
So guess who won? And he got real frustrated.
Oh.
But I love you, Travis. It's like good old times, remember?
But yeah, that was too great. That was really fun. And that was a good party.
It's also that game's really cool too because it's a pixelated environment. So it looks really like very retro.
It's borderline Atari 2600.
Atari, yeah. And then when you stab each other, there's this pixelated neon blood that spills everywhere and seeps into the background and the environment. It's so fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Atari levels of detail, but just on a grander scale with more animation frames. But yeah, it's gorgeous. And in its own sort of very simple way. Nidhogg 2 has been announced. I don't love the art style. They made it a little more detailed.
I heard it wasn't as basic as this one, which
it looks
kind of is a bummer.
But yeah, I imagine if the gameplay is still as good as the first one is, then
I'm sure it'll be even if we don't like the artistic choices as much, the game's just going to be just as fun or better.
Yeah, I imagine that they're kind of taking it and running with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the party was crazy. We also had 2 other TVs set up with other games going, which
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, we had the Retron going in the bedroom, and I found my original Super Nintendo, so I was able to test out Clock Tower, which it works. So I do have the American version of Clock Tower for us to play in the future.
I cannot wait. I'm so scared. I want to also stream Resident Evil 7 in VR.
Yes.
And you can just laugh at me the whole time because I will freak the fuck out.
That sounds like a plan. I will bring the beer.
Yeah. I also wanted to say that I went to the Writers Guild of America West Awards on Sunday night. And it was fun, but I think my highlight of the whole award show was when Uncharted 4 won Best Writing in a Video Game. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was meant to see this live and in person. I mean, Chelsea Handler was cool. She sat right next to us. The Duffer Brothers, they were cool. They sat right on the other side of me, which they didn't win for Stranger Things.
What won instead?
Atlanta.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Atlanta.
I haven't seen it. Did you know that all the writers on that show are all first-year writers?
No.
It was basically their idea. They, pitched it, and they made it, and they're all, except maybe one or two first-year writers.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Glover used to write for 30 Rock.
Okay.
So he has a little bit of a pedigree behind him. But
okay, so he's probably leaving the group.
He created it, him and his brother, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show is great. It's wonderful.
I think it was high as a kite, too, because he was just
sounds about right.
laughing his ass off every time he'd make a comment.
Yeah, I love Atlanta, but well, yeah, I'd say Neil Druckmann. This is old news for him. They won for The Last of Us at the Writers Guild Awards.
I love The Last of Us.
Todd was there when that one.
Naughty Dog,
right? They always clean up at the WGAs.
And I can't wait till Chloe's wins for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Yeah, I got it that time.
I never remember what it's called.
I always think Legion, Legacy, lasagna. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I know. I'm hungry now. I'll just drink my coffee and shut up.
But yeah, like, oh, and this is a random thing, totally off topic, but I'm going to see if I can make it happen. Earlier today, Todd said something that I misunderstood. And I was talking about how video games are really great right now, and I'm having a good time with some of them. And something came up where we ended up calling it, like, it's giving us the funds. Which is kind of like the runs, except good.
Except good.
Yeah,
you
right?
want the funds.
Yeah, the games are giving us the funds. I kind of like it. I don't know if it'll take off, but I'm going to do my best to remember it. I had to write it down to bring it up here, but maybe I can see if I can work it into something.
Sometimes I like getting the runs just because I know I'm going to actually get to shit. Because sometimes I go a day without shitting, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to shit daily?
This went in a whole new direction. All right, then.
That's the funds for me. Is when I get the runs. This will be fun for me since I think my brain is turning to mush as I get older. But I've decided in every podcast I want to incorporate a dictionary.com word of the week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just think it'll be fun for my little brain to like start building some brain cells back. So this week, the word is procrustian. Do you know what that means?
I do not. Can you use it in a sentence?
I can, but I will wait because the game is I have to use it before the end of the podcast.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I'll just have to listen to the context of it.
Yes, but here's what the definition is. Tending to produce conformity by violent or arbitrary means. I love that word.
What's the word again?
Procrustian.
All right, then. That's a good
Sounds
word.
like crustacean.
Now I'm convinced I'm going to say it wrong.
Yeah. Oh, some fun news coming up. Here They Lie is coming out for PSVR, which releases on...
No, it's already out on PSVR.
Oh, I thought it...
No, it's coming out for non-VR.
Oh, with the Pro.
It's also coming out for coming out for regular PlayStation 4 players.
Oh, I must have read some old news.
Well, if you want to play it outside of VR, you can now.
Okay.
Which was not an option. But also, it's getting an enhanced mode for PlayStation 4 Pro, so it'll look better in the VR.
Oh, see, I like that.
So there is an update to the VR.
Nice. We are a week away from the launch of Horizon Zero Dawn.
I see you've been posting about it, and the reviews have started to come out. They are looking pretty positive.
Stellar.
Destructoid only gave it like a 7 or 7.5, which I was surprised, but Polygon gave it a 9.5. And
Polygon sometimes is under a lot of fire, but I see eye to eye with most of the things they say.
I tend to I think Polygon is very they're fair, but they can be very harsh at times. They actually gave The Last of Us a 7, and they got a ton of shit for it. But they had their reasons.
I do love The Last of Us, but honestly, I would not give it a perfect score. I would have gone with like an 8.
Yeah, I mean
7.9.
That game
8.
is wonderful.
I love it though.
Yeah, but it's not perfect.
No.
And but yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn they gave a 9.5, which I am
a 9.5.
9.5.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought you were going to do the Legend of Zelda situation.
Yeah, it's still on my 3DS, and I'm still playing it every now and then. I think I'm like probably 5 or 6 dungeons away from finishing it. So I'm in the back half, but not by a whole lot. I need to actually get back into it and really like commit. Unfortunately, Nioh has just been too fucking good. I'm having such a good time with it.
Yeah.
And
I've watched some people stream that, and it looks fucking difficult.
It is. It's great though, but it's very difficult.
I didn't know when we talked about it that it was similar to Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's similar to Souls games.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was like a hack and slash, but now that I see this, it's very strategic, and you have to plan out your attack, and you have to build up your character, like you were saying.
Yeah. It's like Dark Souls meets Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
So it's like Twitch gaming skills meets kind of very, very cautious playing.
Yeah.
And I also this week I also started playing For Honor.
Okay, what do you think? I hear it's good, and then I hear it's okay.
It's it's interesting because there's no other game that really plays like it.
In what way?
Like it's its combat stuff is attached to the shoulders, similar to the Dark Souls games, where R1 is your light attack and R2 is your heavy. But the way it works is there are 3 sort of stances you can do, which it's like Nioh also has stances that change things, but like
and so did Nidhogg.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And so this one has up, left, and right as your stances, and so depending on which direction you're holding while you're blocking, if attack's coming from above, you hold up while doing it, and you'll block the up ones, and then also same with your attacks. So it just has it moves very quickly by the time it's done, and most of it that I've done has been actually I think I've only done multiplayer at this point.
I want to come over and play because I didn't get to play the beta.
Which, like, the beta, I felt, I guess now that I've actually played the game, I feel like the beta was a good indication of how the game would be.
Okay.
Although the beta didn't
That's
wow
good
me.
to know.
But then I played the actual game, though, with 3 friends. Like, we made a team of 4, because that's how large the teams are in multiplayer. And I did a game with 3 friends, or a couple games, and we had a blast. It was really, really, really fun. And there is a story mode, but the story mode, I believe, is kind of multiplayer-esque. I'm not sure. And that one you can do co-op 2-player through. So I imagine I'll party up with a coworker and probably tear through the story, because I miss doing like co-op through an entire campaign. I did Gears 4 recently with a friend, start to finish, and it was so fun. And it was really disappointing to me that Dead Rising 4 got rid of the co-op component.
Gosh, I remember the last time I did a co-op, like full story mode all the way through. I think the one that's most vivid in my mind was when Lord of the Rings Return of the King.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like PS2 or Xbox.
I think it was PS2,
yeah.
And it was Travis and I, and of course I was always Gandalf. But I think that was the last time. Yeah, that was so long ago.
That's crazy.
And then a little bit of Broforce, but that's it's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess most of the co-op I do now tends to be not full campaign stuff. It just tends to be inviting people into my game in Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Nioh, or joining people to help out strangers.
And all those.
Oh yeah, Destiny. I did a lot of co-op through.
Yeah. So I finally beat Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Ooh, what'd you think?
3-4 years later? I really, really loved this version.
It's a good game.
Sequel, yeah. In this one, you re-enter the Animus, like you do in every game. But this time you get to play as either JACOB FRYE or his sister Evie. And Evie is so fucking cool.
Well, her chameleon skill is so good.
And I love playing as the women characters. I don't know why. It just, as it should be. So I love that you get to play as her, but she also has the coolest moves with that dumb cane.
Well, and I like that she can carry extra knives, I think,
extra
right?
knives, which were like my saving grace because they don't make any noise when you hit people in the head with them.
And then, when she stands still for a while in a crouch position, she goes invisible.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
I always forgot. I forgot I had that, so I never really used it. And one time I was just staying there and I went into sneak mode and I was like, oh my God, I can disappear. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
that would have helped.
She's so good for the stealth stuff that game kind of wants you to do.
You know me, though. I went right in and I jumped in the middle of the guards to throw a smoke bomb and just attack.
Because you should have been playing as Jacob if you're going to do that, because he's the brawler.
But I like to see her kick ass.
I know, but
She's fast. She's fast enough.
I did a couple of mission walkthroughs for that game back before it came out for work. And the first one I did was an Eevee mission. And I realized, like, holy shit, she's amazing. Mm-hmm. And I figured, when this game comes out, I'm going to do the whole game as Eevee. And then...
Well, you can't.
Well, and then...
It's not a choice.
Also, then, even, like, all the missions that you do have a choice of who you want to play as, I tended to play as Jacob.
The brawler.
Just because, like, his playstyle was really fun to just go in, like, swinging.
Yeah.
And then also... I actually, one of my favorite things was their relationship, because she's so smart and he's so dumb, and he's all gut and she's all brain. Yeah. And I liked playing as this big dumb meathead because first off, he's kind of handsome. He wasn't that
dumb though.
But he's handsome and he's funny. I guess because he's reckless, and there's something kind of so effortless and I won't say cocky, I guess, but like
he's cocky.
Yeah, there's something
100% cocky.
Very confident and fun to watch in him. And so
but he's modest. He plays dumb, even though he knows he's being cocky. I don't know. Yeah. He's just very intriguing.
I had a good time playing as him. Well, and now you've done that, are you going to do the Jack the Ripper DLC?
I think so.
It is so good.
Is it? Because I already deleted the game off my PlayStation, but then I was like, wait a second, I have to go back and play Jack the Ripper, so I'm going to re-download it.
Because Jack the Ripper... In that one, you play as both Jack the Ripper,
and you have to find Jacob,
and you also play as Eevee, who's 20 years older, I believe.
Okay, yeah, it's 20 years in the future.
Yeah, but like the nice thing is that the Jack the Ripper stuff completely changes the gameplay because Jack he rules by terror. So your idea is you need to terrify people before you can actually hurt them.
You can play as Jack the Ripper?
You do play as Jack the Ripper.
Oh, shit. I have to play that now.
It does a combination of stuff where it alternates characters.
Oh, my goodness. No, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, I really do have to play that now.
It is paid DLC, though, so you will have to buy it. But
okay, no, I won't play it.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
The other thing I like about this one is it is taking place in 1886 London. So you get that kind of like... that vibe of like Oscar Wilde was here and Charles Dickens, and you can do different quests, I guess, like offshoot quests with Darwin, Marx, Dickens, Queen Victoria, and then of course the Jack the Ripper one, which is separate, but that's 20 years later.
And Alexander Graham Bell is the guy who designs your
weapons,
your grapple.
Yeah.
Your Batman thing.
So cool.
So you can Batman across town.
Yeah.
Because Batman is a verb now.
Yes, it is. And in this game, the villain is he's a Procrustean antagonist, and his name is Crawford Steric, and he's basically in charge of the Templars. See what I did there?
I see. Well done.
Thank you. And he is basically trying to control London through force, through like this underground. His own like Assassin's Creed, basically, of Templar Knights. And in the end, it doesn't work out. So he tries to steal the Shroud of Eden, which is this like holy relic that gives superpowers. And well, you should have played it by now. So there's your spoiler.
And seriously, you should go grab it because it's awesome. And I imagine much cheaper than it was when it came out.
Oh, yeah. It's like probably $15 to $20.
Yeah. Well, and seriously, you should buy the Jack the Ripper DLC. And if you don't want to buy it now, you should watch for a sale and buy it because, oh man, I am such...
Okay, I will do it.
I'm
just because...
I'm a total victim of all of like the PlayStation
really
Network
are,
flash sales. Like I actually had written down here even to talk about just that flash sale and how stupid I am.
Let's see. What'd you buy?
So they had
List them.
PlayStation had a flash sale over the weekend where a lot of games were up to like 80% off.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying 2 games that I really didn't need to buy. I bought the game featuring your crush from several weeks ago, DMC, Devil May Cry.
Yes,
the
Dante.
definitive edition for PS4 because I played it when it came out on the 360, and so I'm looking forward to playing it at 60 frames a second and just sort of have like the next gen remaster
to
of
have
it.
that first opening sequence in 60 frames per second.
And I just want to play it all again.
A hard on on top of a hard on
Like,
top of a hard on.
I cannot wait to play that again. And I also bought Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin edition for PS4, which I actually played and finished on PS4 already. Except now I have a digital version, so I don't have to grab the disc, so I can easily hop back in just on a whim. Because I realize with the Souls games, like I always will just be like, you know what? I just want to play for 10 minutes. I just want to like do a little bit of farming or something.
Yeah.
And to go grab the disc is just, it's going to stop me.
Yeah,
so
totally.
It's nice that I can just play it. So I did that because I still have to do all the DLC for that game because the Scholar of the First Sin edition includes all the DLC.
Oh.
So, and that was like $12. And so was DMC.
Speaking of DLCs really fast, did you know that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be a complete game with 0 DLCs and 0 microtransactions? They've already said they're not going to do any of that bullshit.
Really? They're not doing like a season pass or anything?
Nope. It's all included.
Wow, good for them.
Yes. Thank you, Horizon Zero Dawn. Guerrilla Games.
Yep. And then lastly, I bought the game. It was sitting in my wish list on my PlayStation account for probably a couple months now. And instead of $20, it was $5. So I bought Adrift, which is a first-person space survival game where pretty much you're kind of always running out of oxygen. So your goal is to sort of float through space and get oxygen to save yourself and survive somehow.
Yeah.
I hear it's very stressful. I hear it's very good.
That sounds very frustrating.
It was a launch title, I think, for the Oculus. Like a lot of people played it on VR headsets.
Oh.
And as a bummer, it does not support PlayStation VR, but I hear it's a good game anyway. So yeah, so flash sale actually got out pretty cheap. It was like $33.
Oh, that's good. For 4 games?
Or no, $29 for 3 games.
3 games.
DMC, Dark Souls 2, and Adrift. So not a terrible
I mean,
I splurge like crazy.
This one right here is such a collector of games. I mean, I just had a glimpse into his universe at his birthday party, and I almost fainted at the library he has going on.
I really thought you knew that room was there.
It was like the Harry Potter under the under the staircase magic that I could just live there and die in there and be happy for the rest of my life. This was immaculate. It was like a library of video games. You know, like the ones you see in screenshots and you're like, oh, nobody actually owns all of that. Well, this one does. Right here.
I do
Maybe
my
we'll
best.
take you on a tour sometime.
Yes, I never sell anything. I just sort of hang on to it.
I don't think you could sell it. You wouldn't know how to.
It would break my heart.
You'd sell your children.
Yeah, they are my children.
Yes. But that was cool to see that.
Yeah.
Gave me a new sense of whatever. Yeah.
Just lost for words.
I can't even. New sense of self-respect for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Not that you need it anymore from me, because I love you.
I do my best.
Yeah. You want to talk about a movie?
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I know you want to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weekend, it's been nice. Like, this is the end of a 3-day weekend. And, yeah, it's been great. Todd and I finally got to the movies, which we've not been since we saw La La Land.
Romance.
Right?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. We went to go see that really romantic movie, A Cure for Wellness.
Oh, romantic. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like today I was trying to go see John Wick 2 just because
that's supposed to be really good.
I needed something that I would enjoy a little bit more. Like Cure for Wellness has a lot of really cool ideas and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like it's a stunning movie to look at. But really I
you couldn't swallow it.
I just didn't love it. And also it's about 45 minutes too long.
Too long. Ooh, I hate it when they do that. Have you ever seen the movie, which is definitely not 45 minutes too long? It could have been 45 minutes longer and I've still eaten it up, was Quills?
Oh my
with
God.
Jeffrey Rush.
I saw Quills in theaters when I was in high school.
that movie. Well, it's a sane asylum. It's kind of like, I mean,
He's the Marquis de Sade.
yes.
In that, yeah.
Oh, one
Well,
of my
him and
favorite
Kate
writers.
Winslet and Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the movie I actually thought Joaquin Phoenix should have been nominated for an Oscar for, not Gladiator, because it was the same year.
Seriously. I wonder if Jeffrey Rush was nominated because he was so good.
I don't think he was. Quills didn't get a lot of attention, really, which was surprising. It should have.
Yeah, those movies, if you would have had them made now, the indie films are getting more attention now than they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But Jeffrey Rush, I always thought I was going to marry him.
Really?
Yeah, there were 3 people I always thought I was going to marry when I was younger. Not that I'm that old. But I always thought I was going to marry Michael Jackson, but he died. And then I thought I was going to marry Alan Rickman, but he was married.
And now he died.
And then I thought I was going to marry Jeffrey Rush, but he's already married, so...
And now I'm worried about his safety also, given your track record. Jesus.
I have a feeling at some point he's going to die. Just a theory.
All right, then.
Yeah. Well, I'm still going to see the movie, though, despite your...
No, you should. You should make up your own mind on it. It's weird. There was a lot of times I walk out of a movie saying, "Oh, I loved it," except for these things. And this one I walked out and I was like, well, I didn't really like it, except, and like there was a list of things I really did like.
The trailer is amazing, so maybe I should just stick to the trailer.
The trailer is also like, the trailer is so visually
stimulating,
which the movie is. Like the movie, if you just want to, like, I feel like the movie would have been an amazing music video.
Oh, yeah.
But the movie is about 2.5 hours long.
Did you like Crimson Peak?
I like Crimson Peak a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay. At least you're eye time on that one.
Well, Crimson Peak's biggest flaw was that it was advertised as a horror film, when in fact...
it's a fantasy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy with ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a horror film.
But the same thing with all of his movies, I feel.
Guillermo del Toro...
I don't know why he's in the horror genre. He is fantasy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, like, the closest he ever did to true horror, I think, was Blade 2.
Okay.
And that was an action movie with horror trappings.
I just think his movies are so dark that people have to like throw him in that category, but they're so beautiful. And the music and all his movies are... I'm obsessed with soundtracks and film scores. So when the music gets me, the movie's good usually. So... something I saw that was interesting about VR, I wanted to kind of... I didn't know these little tidbits. I was reading it on grunge.com, and the article was called Ways VR Games Could Become a Health Hazard. And we already know that, like, VR, you could trip. You could accidentally punch someone.
Yeah, you can actually... Well, okay, so, sorry, not to cut off the article.
No, yeah, keep going.
There's a thing where... there's a game for the Vive called Drunken Bar Fight.
Did you backhand someone?
I actually have my own experience with it too, but in it you are swinging with both your fists because you are in a drunken bar fight, and it's first off, it's exhausting. Let me just tell you, because the harder you swing, the harder you hit.
Oh, good.
And so like it's funny, you can pick up bottles and mugs and smash them on people. You can throw darts at people. It's this big, crazy free-for-all.
That sounds fucking amazing. And I've always wanted to get into a bar fight, but I've never been in a fight in my entire life because I'm a pacifist. But sometimes I just want to punch someone.
It's exhausting, and it's exhilarating. And I did it, and I was so sore the next day. I had no idea that I could hurt myself doing nothing, really.
Oh my God, I'm on play.
When I was playing it, though, I actually ended up trying to, like, sort of uppercut somebody, and I hit the Vive controller on the back of a chair so hard that it flew out of my hand. I had the wrist thing on, like the Wii strap.
Yeah, the strap.
I had the strap on my wrist, and I still lost the damn controller. It flew.
Did it break?
No, it survived. And a friend of mine was sitting in that chair at the time.
You hit your friend?
I did not hit him.
Thank God.
But I did, however, throw one of those things. And then a couple weeks later, my boss had a friend over at his house to play VR and just sort of hang out. And the nice thing about the Vive is that it gives you a sort of teal mesh that shows up in your vision when you are approaching a wall.
Okay, so you know there's a wall there.
Yeah, you know where your virtual space or your real space ends.
That's smart. I like that.
But unfortunately, though, oftentimes, like as you approach a wall, you'll get the netting. But if you are reaching through it with your fist, you're still going to hit the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And so this guy's playing drunken bar fight, and he literally like turned around and lunged with his fist and punched
through the wall.
Punched a 65-inch TV and killed it.
I was just gonna say, do not play those games within a reach of your 4,000K TV.
Yeah.
Oh, so shit.
Now my boss is shopping for a new TV, but
oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, VR is its own sort of dangerous anyway. But please, no, continue on with the like the what the article said. Aside from just falling over or hurting yourself.
No, seriously, you could really get hurt playing those games. Motion sickness, of course, we all know that.
Yeah.
But this is what most interested me. Okay, so the article says the up close and personal design of most VR headsets can greatly exacerbate this problem of the screen door effect, which is when minuscule gaps between pixels can, over time, burn a static grid into a person's sight.
Which that I did not know about. I didn't know that was a possibility of for sight. Obviously, I can tell you about the screen door effect because I've seen it.
Yeah,
but
because it burns that into your retina. So when you take
no idea
off,
that was a thing.
Yeah, when you take off the VR, you could still see that netting.
That's
because
weird.
the pixels are not close enough together in the in I guess the system.
Yeah, I had no idea that was that your eyes could be damaged by that.
Damaged, yeah.
Because I know that like the worst I ever saw of it was actually the early dev kit Oculus, which those were.
And I played that.
Yeah, those were all prototypes. They were not meant to be out in the public, but they were good development tools. And those had, I remember actually saying after doing a demo, oh, it looked like I was watching it through a screen door. I actually said that
to someone.
And so
screen door effect.
It makes total sense, but I had no idea that your eyes could be permanently
damaged,
affected by it. And I'm always a little worried. I feel like PlayStation, just because it has the probably the lowest resolution of all of the visors at this point, that one's the biggest concern, I think. But it's better than the early dev kit Oculus, though, by far. But it's not up to snuff with the current market Oculus and Vive. Those are a little bit higher quality.
Yeah, it says eventually the necessity for negative space between pixels will be resolved, and then it says humanity will be free to lose themselves in low seating machines without a griddle imprinting itself upon the backs of their eyes. Well, that's great.
Well, I don't spend that much time in VR, at least. So yeah, just everybody take a break every now and then.
Yeah, rest your eyes.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing was nearsightedness. And makes sense. It's right in your face. You're staring at something that's like 2 inches away from your face.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know. Okay, so years of pressing screens and books in your face absolutely causes nearsightedness. And the effect is stronger in children whose muscles have yet to finish developing. Consider this, 53% of college graduating nerd lords wear glasses, compared to 24% of people with no high school education. If books and screens can cause such a marked shift in perspective, what further effect will headsets have?
That is interesting. Well, and I
didn't know it was such a huge gap.
Well, and at least, in the defense of a lot of VR people, they only recommend VR is used by people over the age of, I think, 14. So they do discourage it for young
because
young people.
Your muscles are still developing and it'll fuck up your eyesight.
Well, it's the same as how the Nintendo...
Parents, don't let your kids play VR.
Yeah, even like the Nintendo 3DS discourages the glassesless 3D effect for anyone under the age of, I think, 9 or something like that. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, like you could actually disable it with your parental lock on that system. You can just turn it off completely. Yeah. But I do know that, like the 3DS has an age requirement or age suggestion for it, as well as I know PlayStation VR actually has they say VR is not really intended for anyone under this age due to developing muscles and developing,
that's crazy.
Eyesight and stuff. But yeah, I mean, who was I talking to? I was talking to someone recently because we did like a VR demo thing at work, and someone was like, "Oh, should I wear my glasses underneath the visor? I was like, totally, because the visors are meant to fit over glasses, really.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 1 is really comfy, even with glasses. But the one thing that's kind of interesting is they have a fixed focal depth of like 8 feet. So even though, the screens are 2 inches from your eyes, I can see stuff 2 inches from my eyes. But I can't do VR without glasses because its focus length is 8 feet, which 8 feet away from me is blurry.
Yeah.
And so
I'm almost 8 feet long. That's not that far.
So I need my glasses though to do VR at this point, or contacts.
I wear glasses also, but I don't think I needed it for the VR. Yeah, 8 feet's not that far for me.
Well, my glasses are pretty strong. Though.
Maybe it is because I can't read that.
Yeah, it might be. It might make it a little better.
Yeah. So do you have a crush of the week this week?
Oh man.
No. You don't. You
no. I totally can. I can. But just since we were talking about it, like, I don't see why JACOB FRYE shouldn't be.
He's
my guy.
mine.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, I'm gonna fight you for him.
Oh, and also, well,
let's brawl.
Just to further add to it, the man who does his voice
is also hot.
Yes,
I have to find out.
At Comic-Con 2 Comic-Cons ago.
Okay.
They did the Assassin's Creed agility course.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And somebody got hurt.
Me.
Oh, you got hurt.
No.
Well, my ex actually is EMT in San Diego, so he was called to Comic-Con because of that.
Really?
Yeah, and he had to help somebody get up, and I guess they didn't. It was a sprain, basically.
Well, I got hurt on the Unity agility course, not the Syndicate one. So I guess 3 years ago I got hurt. Okay. Although even then, I mean, it's not like I had to have an EMT come help me. I fell down, and when I hit the ground, I suddenly remembered, oh yeah, you are 30 years old, and you shouldn't be running around like this because you don't do this sort of shit.
And yet you should.
And I did. And the leap of faith, for the record, terrifying. But anyway, yeah. So at the Syndicate,
that sounds so fun. I didn't get to do it. I'm not a line waiter. I don't wait in lines.
At the Syndicate one, though, I was hanging out in the press box, and they had the voice of Jacob and the voice of Evie do the course.
Oh, that's so cool.
The siblings, they're always competing. Like, they have a sort of competition that they do, or competitive nature between the two of them.
So the voice actors competed against each other.
He won. He was faster. But she put up a good fight.
Yeah.
It was, and also, though, I find with all agility courses, even if you look at, say, like Wipeout, that TV show from years ago, that show is skewed for people who are tall.
Yes.
Because you're jumping over a lot of things,
but you're also ducking under a lot of things, too.
But there's a lot of stuff where there's stuff rolling down a hill at you, and you have to either step over it or jump over it. Mm-hmm. And as someone who's 5'4", that's like a full rolling leap for me, while some people could just step over things.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I never considered that.
But of course, also tall people have a different, center of gravity and stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
fall on my ass.
I think a lot of agility courses, though, like even the Syndicate one had like a spider wall kind of thing where you're supposed to like use your arms and your legs like out in all directions to sort of hold you up against two walls to sort of walk like that. And luckily they were pretty close together, but for anyone who's taller, they actually have a lot more reach. Like for me, just to reach the walls is all I have. And so I can't reach with enough force to really hold myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob
Agreed.
is, I mean, I'm sure he has the hottest can. I'm obsessed with butts. And
you are.
I am a butt girl. And I just imagine, because he's built like a tree trunk.
He is. He's a stocky dude.
Yes, which I love.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Well, and plus you can see him like shirtless during the fighting matches.
Boxing matches. Uh-huh.
I love him in a newsy cap.
Yeah.
I love him in a newsy cap.
I didn't like it when they put him in the top hat. I was like, I want the newsy hat.
I made a point to just leave him in outdated clothing that made him lower level at times, just because he looked better.
Yeah. Okay, that's smart.
Because the top hat didn't do it for me.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. But he's a family guy. He takes care of his sister, and she takes care of him, and he's charming, charismatic, like all the things you want in a boyfriend, which obviously does not exist in Los Angeles because I hate dating in Los Angeles.
He's also like mass murderer the way I played the game. So there's that.
Yeah, but for the people.
Well, yeah, no, he is doing
It's
it
for the people.
He is doing the right thing. Because yeah, you do desync if you kill innocent people, but still,
I never even killed one innocent person the whole time I was in it.
I haven't.
I didn't know it was possible.
You can kill anybody in that game, but
I've run over them with like horses and nobody ever died.
I haven't killed people in normal people in Assassin's Creed. I don't think since like the first game. When I was like, yeah, this would be fun to go on a rampage. And I was like, oh, wait, no, you lose immediately because they remind you that your character didn't do that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Now I'm just thinking of Jacob in that boxing ring. God, that was so fun.
Do you want me to leave you alone for a minute?
Just a minute. It's really fast, I promise. How are we on time?
Pretty good.
Oh, can I talk about what do you have to talk about?
I'm all done. My agenda has been covered.
Sweet. I just wanted to give a shout out to Paper Girls, and I mentioned it before, except I cut the footage out because I was like, what's the point of mentioning it? So I'm going to re-mention Paper Girls, which is a graphic novel series by Brian K. Vaughan. He's the writer, and Image.
That's the Saga guy, right?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I have Saga. I just got it.
I could be crazy. I think that's Saga.
I'll know when I read it. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I love his work. And the story is a throwback to like the 80s and has a lot of references, which are very 80s, which I love. And the story is this group of paper girls, they go out on one of their usual morning outings, and all this weird shit happens to them where these aliens come to Earth, and then they realize, oh, wait, these people are trying to take over the world, basically. And in the future, older people are actually the enemies because they want everybody to be civil and this and that and the other. And the kids are like, no, this is our life. We should, do things as we want to.
Well, I mean, right now...
I was going to just say, that just went through my head. These fucking Republicans.
Given the way older people...
Yeah, I said it.
Given the way older people are voting, I don't want to make them into the enemy, but they're certainly not helping a whole lot.
It was funny at the WGA Awards because I don't remember the actor's name, but he's very prominent, obviously, because he's obviously a Republican, and everybody was poking fun at him who got up on that podium, and he was sitting right up front, and fuck, I wish I knew his name. But I was like, it must be real hard to be the only Republican in a room full of celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not feel sorry for him, though.
Yeah, it must be hard, but also, not a lot of sympathy's coming from me.
No. But, so, yeah, and it's about time traveling, and in the second one, the main girl, whose name is Erin, she has to face her future self from the far, far future and her future self from the 2016 future, which is when they realize, oh, wait, there's a woman running for president. Oh, my God, we have a female president? And they're like, no, it's probably a fluke, or I forget what they say, but it was like a Hillary Clinton sign in the front yard of somebody's house. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon. That hits too close to home.
So, and it looks like there's only 2 trade paper collections of Paper Girls out right now.
Only 2.
Right? And yeah, I looked. Brian K. Vaughan is indeed the Saga guy.
Oh, well, I love your work.
He does good work.
Yeah. I heard Saga's supposed to be awesome also.
Which, yeah, I read the first trade of Saga, and it was really, really great. It was a long time ago, though. And so... I just got the hardcover Deluxo version, which I guess is like the first 3 or 4 trades collected in one package. And I kind of need to just reread the whole thing and just start over, I think.
Yeah, start over.
Yeah.
Well, see, you could read it and I can read it, and then we can have a discussion about Saga.
Oh my God, this will be sort of like a book club for a minute. We'll have a book club section.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good. That was not meant in a negative way at all.
Okay, good. Yeah, because my little brain cells need to read. I need to, like, build them back up. Like, it's like this, you start flat and they're starting to concave. So I need to build a mountain now. Get some balance up in there.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think that's it. So You can reach us on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And also Facebook at BitDiff Podcast, BitDiffPodcast. And also, if you want to email us, bitdiffpodcast@gmail.com. And I am Cetine, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cetine the Dream, CETINETHEDREAM. And on Twitch, you can watch me play all these video games that we're talking about.
Seriously, you've been good at playing all the new stuff. You've been on it.
I'm trying to catch up to you. Literally. I'm like, I need to know what I'm talking about.
Well, so not to actually completely distract from the outro. Wait, finish your where they can find you first.
Oh, yeah. On Twitch, just at Cetine, just my first name. And yeah.
Cool. Well, okay, so before we get into where people can find me, I forgot to mention.
What's up?
You told me that you played the NIER Automata demo.
I played the NIER, and I finished it.
And it's fantastic.
It's so fucking beautiful.
Like,
it's so fun. It's like Bayonetta on crack.
Which I, like, seriously, NIER 1, or NIER the first, was a really, really strange game. And at the time when I played it, I thought it was probably one of the worst games I've ever finished.
Ooh.
And now
that's rough.
I've realized it's not that. It's actually quite good. It's just one of the strangest games I've ever finished.
You have that problem with games.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand which direction they're going.
Well, and seriously, like, unfortunately, like, I was playing it at the time, and the guy I was dating watched me, and it wasn't fun for him to watch. And so he hated it. I didn't know what to think of it, because it's... The original NIER is all over the place, because it plays like a third-person action game, but it has, like, RPG elements to it. And then at times, at one point, the game becomes a text adventure. At one point, it becomes a top-down shoot 'em up.
This one too. It has these different angles where you can. Sometimes you feel like you're playing Smash TV, and other times you're playing Bayonetta. So
and then at one point, the game went black and white with fixed camera angles, which
that's
in
crazy.
a haunted mansion. So it pretty much became Resident Evil. But yeah, like the text adventure especially got really weird because the whole screen goes black and it just gives you words and you have to pick choices. So like the game wears its influences on its sleeve, both for better or for worse, and it made a really interesting experience. And it's a game that you can't really get the full ending without playing it like 3 times, which I did not do. I did YouTube that because I just couldn't do it. But yeah, like the first NIER though, the more time has passed, the more I've realized that game is something quite special. And the fact that Platinum picked it up for the sequel, I am thrilled, and I cannot wait for Automata. And I'm so glad you played it, at least the demo, because it's awesome. And what the character is B2, and she's super cool.
I guess she's a cyborg. I'm thinking. Yeah,
she's something.
Hard to say.
In the demo, this is the thing. Someone wrote an article about it. In the demo, in your inventory is like a microchip.
And I didn't even look in the inventory.
Well, you can look. There's not a whole lot you can do in the demo to really change anything.
Yeah.
But in your inventory, there's a microchip or something that says like it is
like an upgrade.
It says it's required for your existence, like you need it to live. And if you remove it, it sends you back out to the main menu. It kills your character instantly.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Like only this game would give you its suicide pill, like in the menus.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So I just remembered that you played NIER Automata, and we had to talk about it.
Yeah. If who's ever playing the demo, it's really cool because there's a boss battle at the end. And it is cool because you are fighting all sorts of ways in the sky, on the ground, everywhere.
It's all over the place in the best way.
In the best way, yeah.
It's variety. Anyway, so sorry. Now that we sort of a quick little NIER moment, you can find me on Twitter at Fast Danger and on Instagram and Twitch at Mr. Gladstone, where Mr. is spelled out. And I have been better about streaming. I've been streaming Nioh the last couple times I played it.
Oh, sweet.
Not really, soaking up those viewers yet. I'm just not wowing anybody.
I know. Oh, so one of my viewers actually felt bad about my car. And so gave me a $10 PlayStation gift card so I could buy new weapons in Uncharted 4. Oh my goodness.
That's so sweet.
So sweet. I'm spoiled on that thing. I love it.
Seriously. Meanwhile, whoever's watching me is just seeing me sit on a couch with a pug next to me, playing Nioh in silence because I do not enable my microphone, but I enable my camera.
Oh, see, I have my microphone. My next purchase for that whole situation is like 2 love sacks.
Ooh.
How fabulous would it be to
amazing.
have a love sack?
Because, like, yeah, unfortunately, one of the things I found with multiplayer gaming in my house is that inevitably Todd will walk through the room and just start talking about work or what we need from Target or whatever. And
kills the moment.
yeah, I don't know if that sort of ruins the magic of a stream when all of a sudden you know that like we're low on Q-tips. And
I think
so
it's engaging.
yeah, and then you know that conversation gets cut off with babe, the microphone's on. So it just gets weird. So yeah,
He should just join in and sit with you and comment.
the first time recently where I really got back up on the streaming, the stream was pretty much me and Todd both just sitting on the couch while he was doing something on his iPad watching me play.
Oh, I love it.
Watching me play Nioh.
Todd's a comedian also, so he has the funniest shit he says that comes out of his mouth, and I'm just like, okay. His Instagram, like
his Instagram stories.
the stories, I die every time. I'm like, only he would think of this.
Well, and a lot of randos, or not randos, but people he knows that I don't know, when they finally meet me, they're like, I feel like I know you. And I'm like, why?
Because you're in all the
And they're
stories.
like, oh, because all the Instagram stories.
You are the grumpy little grump in each of the stories.
That is true. That is me. It's my lot in life.
Yeah. So you can catch us with a new podcast episode every Wednesday on iTunes. And I just submitted for Google Play.
Yes.
So we should, I mean, hopefully by tomorrow it'll be up on Google Play also.
Awesome.
And of course, please show us a little bit of love and rate and comment in iTunes because that's how other people can find us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're floating in space.
Yeah, and tweet at us and stuff and engage us. Give us stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
What do you want us to talk about?
Yeah. I'd like to know.
Right?
Instead of butts and I talk butts and poop.
Seriously, how do we become a bunch of dick and fart jokes so quickly?
Oh gosh, because that's all I do.
Anywho,
all right.
have a good one, you guys.
Chowsies.
Bye.